The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this afternoon's webinar. So once again, this is another segment of our webinar series this month of September from Wordtext Systems Incorporated. Okay, so what you are seeing right now on your screen is about the Autodesk Fusion 360. Okay, this is the cloud-based integrated CAD, CAM, CAE, and PCB software manufacturing ready solutions with generative design, which is our topic for this afternoon. Okay, so regarding generative design in Fusion 360, gives you the ability to select multiple manufacturing methods to quickly explore numerous solutions for your design and engineering challenges. Get it now and enjoy 40% discount. Offer ends October 16, 2020. And this afternoon, I am here with Ms. Nalaine Vidal, our product manager for design and manufacturing softwares of Autodesk. And our topic for today's webinar is about the generative design. So I hope you can hear me clearly on your end. So let's just sit back and relax and enjoy this presentation. And once again, this is Mark J. Henosa. You can call me MJ, applications engineer, focusing on design and manufacturing softwares of Autodesk, and we are the value-added distributor of Autodesk from Wordtext Systems Incorporated, and we are WSI. So before we start, ask ko lang kung we have attendees here from the PDMA. So you can use your raise hand button so that we all know that they are all here, and other organizations. And for all the attendees joined from our Facebook posting, thank you so much for attending for this afternoon's webinar. So we have attendees from PDMA. So thank you so much, Team PDMA. So once again, this is MJ. Let's start our discussion about the generative design. So actually, generative design is one of the new processes that we have under Autodesk softwares. So just for us to know that generative design is now introduced in architecture, engineering, and construction collection also through the power of the Revit. And this generative design is about the design and manufacturing softwares. And to start this, maybe alam na natin lahat the idea about the what we call the artificial intelligence. So marami sa atin nagkaroon ng idea about this AI, about the different movies, okay, about the artificial intelligence, and this is all about the technology in the future. Okay, so maybe you already know about this guy. Okay, so this is Baymax, okay, your personal healthcare companion. Okay, so this is one of the sample of the future artificial intelligence technology, a robot. Okay, paano ba natin masasabi na we are now in artificial intelligence na state? Okay, so when we say artificial intelligence, as you can see on your screen, we have here a robot. Okay, once na yung robot natin can adapt based on the current situation, okay, on his environment of the robot, okay, kung kaya niyang mag-adapt depende sa sitwasyon. And if ever yung robot natin can give reasoning what is wrong and what is right, and the robot can automatically set also the right way for the solution, okay, and the robot can provide the solution for that. Okay, but for me, when we say artificial intelligence, this is the system or a process wherein ginagawa ng robot yung task, okay, nang siya lang. Tama, that is the AI for me. So when you say halimbawa, if I want coffee, okay, then ibibigay ko yung task sa robot. Yung robot automatic alam niya kung anong cup yung kukunin niya. Okay, also the teaspoon. Okay, kung ilan yung amount ng coffee, kung ilan yung amount ng creamer, ilan yung sugar, ilan yung tubig. Okay, kung mainit ba yun o malamig. And then once na na-adapt yan ng robot automatically delivered sa akin ready-made coffee na agad na pwede kong inumin. So, for me, that is the artificial intelligence. Okay, as an introduction for our generative design, this one is for us to know more about the what is all about the generative design of Autodesk. Okay, iniisip natin darating yung time na yung technology and computer, okay, mas magiging powerful pa, okay, sa mga tao, sa mga kayang gawin ng tao. Actually, nowadays, kaya nang gawin yan. Okay, sa classroom pa lang for the students, they have the scientific calculator instead of using the manual way on how to compute those mathematical operations. They can usually use what? Calculator, okay, to speed up the process. Okay, but nowadays, almost all type of industry and technology are controlled now by a computer. Okay, so what is about the artificial intelligence? This is way of our modeling complex systems, predicting outcomes, automated decision making. Okay, but what we have right now is what we call the machine learning. Okay, this is the field of artificial intelligence. Para sa akin, ito yung stepping stone natin before natin ma-reach yung artificial intelligence na tinatawag, which uses different algorithms to find patterns dun sa data na kailangan natin. So, can be used to make predictions and decisions. The idea is what? So, if ever you have the algorithms, okay? So yung stored data, okay? Lahat ng data included dun sa system ng machine learning. Kinukuha ng machine learning yung way niya kung paano siya magpe-predict and mag-create ng decision based dun sa data stored sa kanya. That is the idea of machine learning. Okay, so what we need in machine learning is a powerful computers, large amounts of data from the real world, tulad na banggit ko kanina. Okay, which is itong technology na to, nowadays, meron na tayo niyan. Okay, so what about the idea of the life cycle of the generative design? Okay, actually, generative design is not purely artificial intelligence alone. Okay, this is a combination of what? The power of human intelligence and the power of artificial intelligence or the machine learning. Because if you're going to take a look at this figure, okay, we have here a box. Okay, this is about the function of generative design. Wherein the generative design will get the data galing kanino? Dun sa tao, tama? The designer. Siya ang mag-i-input ng lahat ng mga datas for us for the generative design na makapag-generate siya ng data from the human intelligence. So to generate that one, the generative design will automatically evaluate all the generated data and the generative design will evolve the design based doon sa mga binigay na data ng designer. Okay? So once na evaluate yan, okay, nakapag-produce ngayon ng generative design natin, automatic, meron pa ring malaking part yung designer. Okay, because the designer will be the one to decide what is the right output na kukunin niya based on his or her customer requirements. So that's it. So all in all, the generative design is the combination or harnessing the power of both human intelligence and artificial intelligence. That is about the generative design. Okay, let's move. Okay, so this is the tip or the gabay lang that generative design is not a software. Okay, this is not a software. This is a process. And the platform that we are going to use for us to set the process of generative design is none other than the Autodesk Fusion 360. And Autodesk Fusion 360 is the first cloud-based 3D modeling software, CAD, CAM, and CAE PCB software we have nowadays from Autodesk Design and Manufacturing Collections. And before we proceed, I would like to greet all of you a good afternoon and thank you for joining this afternoon's webinar about the generative design of Autodesk Design and Manufacturing Collections. And once again, this is Mark J. Henoza. You can call me MJ. Okay? Applications engineer focusing on design and manufacturing softwares of Autodesk. So I hope lahat tayo mag-enjoy and makakakuha ng idea and what is all about the generative design. So let us continue. Okay, what about the idea of generative design? This is about getting the ideas, okay, from concept design and using the right tool, okay, for the human, okay, and using the power of the unlimited computing power of a computer, Okay, so since Vision 360 is installed in a computer, so that is the idea. The design, the tools, together with the power of computer. Not just that. Okay, the computer or the generative design can provide multiple solutions depending on the situations and data na binigay ng user. Okay? So, based on this study or data na i-generate or i-evolve ng generative design, so bawat design yan is magkakaiba, okay, yung approach sa bawat design. Okay? So, what we can get is a parametric modeling and computational design. We can create automatic computer simulation. We have the optimization and the data visualization. Okay, but the big question is, darating ba yung time, if ever, na binigay na ng designer or ni engineer lahat ng information needed inside the computer or the generative design, pwede bang dumating yung time na hindi na kailangan gamitin or hindi na kailangan maging part ng manufacturing or design team si human intelligence? Tama. So, hindi siya pwedeng mangyari. Dahil tulad ng nabanggit ko kanina, the power of generative design is harnessing the power of both human intelligence and artificial intelligence. So, hindi pwedeng gumalaw mag-isa si generative design. So, yung mga designers natin na medyo naiilang, baka dumating yung time na wala na akong trabaho. So, hindi yun pwedeng mangyari. So, what generative design can give is just to speed up, okay, to more interactive when it comes sa output na gustong ilabas ni designer based on the customer's requirements. So, just a bit of trivia here. So, lamang ang may alam. Okay, this is just a quick trivia. Okay, kailan ba nag-start yung idea ng artificial intelligence? Okay, actually kay Alan Turing yan. Way back 1912 to 1954. Siya yung nakaisip na baka dumating yung time na merong process or system that can create the artificial intelligence. Diba? Doon nag-umpisa yung idea niyan. And nasundan yan, 1928 to 1971, introducing the perceptron, okay, invented or generated by Mr. Frank Rosenblatt, a psychologist. This is the basis of neural network that power most machine learning solutions. Wherein, nag-i-input ng iba't ibang data, okay, for us to generate the predictions and decision making. Okay? But yung naging pinaka-spark plug niya is what? From John Holland. He's a scientist way back 1929 to 2015. He created the genetic algorithm. Okay, this is the most common optimization algorithm used for generative design. O, di ba? Kuya Kim yun. Okay, so meron pa tayong trivia. So, dun pala nag-start ang generative design. But nowadays, okay, when it comes in design industry, some of the manufacturing companies or firm are also or still following the old way. We're in from a single human idea using one computer and the output will be a limited design options. This is the old way. The designer engineer uses a computer as passive machine. Okay, so if you're going to take back dun sa era of disruptions natin or the way we design, the way we made, the way we use things, we have the era of documentation way back 1980s kung saan yung mga manual drafting naging computer-based na through the power of AutoCAD. We have entering the 2000, okay? Year 2000, dyan na pasok yung or nag-start yung era of optimization wherein from 2D, we converted it into 3D and also we can create walkthrough animation, we can create simulation and analysis. And our new, okay, which is our current era nowadays is what? The era of connection. Okay? And our new way, excuse me for that, sorry for that. Our new way is what? A computer and designer or engineer unite as co-creators. We're in for the single human, one human, okay, plus the power of artificial intelligence algorithms, plus the unlimited computing or cloud computing power of our web-based applications and computer, we can generate what? Hundreds to thousands of design options. Which is kung iisipin natin, okay, so napakalaking bagay into a single idea, a single part, setting the material, setting the constraints, setting the loads, and then after that, leave it to the power of generative design, and generative design can provide you hundreds to thousands design options where the designer can choose from. Okay, so that is the trend from old way to new way. So the platform that we are going to use, okay, for us to set the power of the generative design, walang iba kung hindi yung Autodesk Fusion 360. Tulad na banggit ko kanina, this is the first cloud-based 3D modeling CAD, CAM, CAE software we have under Design and Manufacturing Collections softwares. Okay, so here are some of the Fusion 360. Okay. Features, preform creation, parametric, sheet metal. So, napakadami niyang kayang gawin. Okay, so that's it. So, let's just move on our next slide. Autodesk Generative Design. Okay, what is all about the generative design? Okay, we have the existing barriers to innovation, productivity, and process. What are those? Limited time to ideate and conceptualize. Normally, sa conceptualization pa lang ng design phase natin, dyan pa lang natatagalan na tayo. Okay? Teams are constrained by engineering expertise. Okay? Downstream processes not considered during design. Okay? Late stage changes are cost prohibitive. Okay? Yun yung mga nagiging problema. Okay? Kasi when we apply the design phase natin when it comes in product designing, nangyayari lang dyan, actually, when it comes sa early stage ng design phase natin, limited pa lang yung idea ni engineer kung ano ba talaga yung possible function ng material or ng product na gagawin. So once na nag-run sila ng FEA or finite element analysis, okay, dun pa lang nagkakaroon ng malawak na idea si engineer na kailangan pala ganito yung approach ko sa design. And the bad side about that is that kapag nasa latter part na tayo ng design phase, okay, kung late na tayo magkaroon ng changes, mas malaki yung cost na pwedeng i-spend ng company for that design. Okay? So, why? Ano yung function niya? Ano yung advantage? Okay? Number one is the part consolidation, okay, for the generative design. From multiple parts, we can convert it into single part. Okay, number two is the optimized for mass. Okay, generative design is mainly used for us to produce the part more lightweight. So, mas magaan compared dun sa old design natin. Reduce supply chain costs associated with each part and its supplier. Ano yung idea dito? You're not just innovating the existing design na meron tayo. Okay? If you can take a look closer here, ayan, kung makikita niyo yan. So, multiple parts yung meron siya. So, automatic yan. When it comes in production line, madaming assembly line yung dadaanan before mo ma-produce yung ganyang part. So, using the generative design by converting it into single part, nai-imagine niyo ba? Okay. The production cycle can cancel out yung mga assembly line na possible daanan para mabuo itong part na to kasi single part na lang siya. Another one, making wheelchairs more versatile, customizable in fashion item, tailored to unique purposes. Okay, so nagkamali lang yan. So reduce supply chain costs associated with each part and its supplier. So ilan lang yan sa mga output. Take a look at this. Ito, yung part na yan. Okay, so this one was created under the generative design. Okay, so another one, Autodesk generative design is a design exploration technology. Simultaneously generate multiple CAD-ready solutions based on a real-world manufacturing constraints and product performance requirements. Okay, we have here a simple graph or table. Okay, this is the design stages that we have. This is the traditional approach. Okay, from the idea, okay, conceptualization. So the design team can give different concepts. So normally, since human brain yung ginagamit natin, medyo limited, okay, yung concepts na bibigay natin. Okay, so before tayo mag-proceed under the validation, okay, ano yung mga kailangan nating evaluate? We need to evaluate the material na kailangan gamitin, okay, yung load na kailangan i-perform ng design or yung purpose niya. Also, number one factor is what? About the manufacturability. So from time to time, from concept to validation, pabalik-balik tayo dyan. Because if ever you created or used this concept, then pagdating mo sa validation, oops, we cannot produce it because hindi tayo okay, hindi tayo okay for the manufacturability ng part na yan. So tumatagal yung time to market after the conceptualization before pa ma-earn yung ROI for the design product. Okay, so this is the iteration phase and the design to production, and this is the output. Okay, but what we have here, okay, for the generative design, so tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, okay, we can harness the limited computing power of our cloud-based application. Okay, so from the single idea, okay, generative design can provide multiple validated manufacturable options. Okay, so from the iteration phase pa lang, okay, kino-consider na as factor yung material, kino-consider na as factor yung manufacturability, okay, kino-consider na as factor yung safety factor niya, okay, durability, and the design to production, medyo mami-minimize. So if you're going to compare it on the traditional approach. So mas early ngayon yung way natin for what? To produce the product. Okay? Kesa nauubos yung time natin from the conceptualization pa lang, we use the cloud computing power of generative design. Okay, so some of the samples here. So let's take a look at this. This is the topology optimization versus the generative design. If ever some of you are already user of Fusion 360, okay, the old way on how can we optimize the design is about the topology optimization. Okay, versus the generative design. Let's compare it in our transportation. So if you're going to take a look at our screen, okay, so makikita nyo diba, meron dyang globe, tama? So the target output is for us to move, okay, from point A to point B. And the current route that we have, okay, here is what? From point A to point B, so we have here the mark, yung red curve na yan. So ito yung possible na daanan natin, okay, for the transportation. Okay, but using the topology optimization, okay, okay, we can provide a new ship route. Okay, so maghahanap ngayon siya ng ibang way, okay, para mas maging 60% faster yung pagpunta natin from point A to point B. Because our target is to move from point A to point B. Okay, this is the transportation. Okay, kino-compare lang natin ito dun sa design phase natin. So another way, this is the optimization. Okay, so what about the generative design function? Okay, the limitation of topology optimization is just using the same, okay, yung same na way of transportation, pero mahanap siya ng shorter road. Tama, di ba? Okay, but the power of generative design is what? Okay, finding different possible way kung paano ita-transport from point A to point B. So instead of using cargo, okay, so generative design can provide track route, pwedeng train, pwedeng plane. So it's up to you if you're going to use different types o pwede kang pumili sa kahit alin sa mga yan. So this is the idea of generative design. Nagbibigay siya ng iba't ibang possible ways, okay? Depende dun sa mga situation and constraints na ibibigay natin dun sa design problem. Okay? So, about the topology optimization, this is generally used to achieve lightweighting goal. So, if ever you have the existing part, gusto mong i-lightweight yan, so topology optimization yung ginagamit. But the problem here, typically, not manufacturing aware. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Okay, the product or the existing part, okay, binabawasan niya lang yung timbang niyan. Tama, di ba? Lightweight niya eh. Okay? But hindi kasama sa design study natin kung paano siya i-manufacture. So wala tayong way kung paano i-set up yun. Okay? And here are some of the comparison between the topology optimization and we have the generative design. So generative design is the explorative methodology that has a goal-driven approach. Okay, user can do trade-offs for performance, go beyond lightweighting, and also the manufacturability. Okay, siniset up din natin yan dyan. Okay, sample here is the output that we have. This is a simulation comparison. Let's say this is our existing part that we have. Okay, yung mass niya, nasa 87.2 something ons mass. The minimum safety factor, we have 13 point something. Peak stress, 2,253 PSI. If you're going to apply the topology optimization here, this is the output. So since lightweighting yung process niya, okay, binaba natin yung mass ng part. Okay, from 87 to 53. Okay, and in-increase din yung peak stress. Pero ang masama dyan, the minimum safety factor, bumaba. Okay, so the power of output ng generative design is this one. Take a look at this. Okay, from 87, ang laki ng difference niya to 5 volts mass. But still, the peak stress mas tumaas. Okay, so ilan to sa mga sample output ng comparison, ng simulation between the traditional way of machining or designing and the topology optimization and the power of generative design. Okay, so here a sample. Ito yung existing. So the target here, okay, itong part na yan, okay, gagawa tayo ng new part na hihila dun sa plate natin. Okay, so the generative design can provide multiple design permutation or options, okay, kung saan pwedeng pumili yung designer natin based on the factors. Kung lightweighting ba yung gusto niya, okay, durability, cost, manufacturability. Okay. So, when to use the generative design? Kailan ba natin dapat gamitin yung generative design? Bakit kailangan natin yung generative design when it comes in product design? Una, we can use the generative design or result to generative design as design guide. Okay? Okay? So, we can provide different material and also how much yung magiging cost for that material. Again, we can explore more design alternatives beyond human imagination. Okay, kasi limited lang naman, lalo na kung isa lang yung magko-conceptualize yan. Okay, under the part consolidation, tulad na banggit ko kanina, we can convert multiple parts into single part. Okay, which is can lessen the raw materials needed. Okay, for the part enhancement, we have lightweighting, increasing the structural integrity, and extended durability. Okay, so here there are multiple practical outcomes for a design problem using the generative design we have. Okay, so let's just compare it, price performance curve. So what are the factors concerning about the cost to produce? We have material, process, labor, and yield. For the performance, how can we gauge that the performance is good? Based on the output, resilience, and efficiency. So let's take a look at this. We have here the price performance curve. So from the old design, so we can produce different generative design output, okay, and we can base on the cost to produce and the performance to choose from. So maybe it's up to the design team kung ano yung tamang design na pwede nilang gamitin, okay, out of our old or existing design. Okay, so this is the design workflow of Autodesk generative design. So from the CAD model that we have, okay, ini-extract natin lahat ng projected geometries na kailangan for us to produce the design. And out of those geometries, we should define kung ano yung magiging obstacle geometries and also the preserved geometry. Then after that, yung mga obstacle geometries, ayan yung mga kulay pula. Okay? Yung kulay green, those are the preserved geometry. The idea here is that the preserved geometry are those geometries that you want to include sa output. Okay, kung makikita niyo dito, yung mga shaft na yan, yan included sila dun sa output. And then the obstacle, ayan yung mga restrictions ng output natin. Yun yung mga iilagan ng Tagalog. Okay? So here's sample video. So what is about the preserved geometry? If you're going to take a look at this. So by selecting the existing geometry that we have on our model, yung mga kulay green na yan, yan yung isi-set up natin as our preserved geometry, which is included dun sa design output. And the red models we have here, those are the obstacle geometry. Sila ngayon yung mga geometry na iilaga ng output natin. And not just that, using the generative design, you can decide whether what type study types that you're going to create. Okay, so then after that, we have here the multiple or almost 1,000 options, design options from the single idea that we have. And it's up to the designer kung ano yung pipiliin niya based on the filters na pipiliin. Is it for the strength, stiffness, mass, cost, heat flux, manufacture time, factor of safety, which is good. And once selected na yung mga design natin, you can switch it, okay, for you to see yung magiging comparison ng bawat output from the generative design output, which is good. Okay, so that is the sample way on how can we produce the output using the generative design, okay, based on the restrictions and constraints na nilagay natin dun sa model. Okay, so since we discussed about the automotive, okay, this one, okay, motorcycle, so move tayo in automotive industry kasi ito yung mga industry na kailangan ang lightweighting. Okay, so we have here the General Motors, kung may idea kayo about General Motors, one of the manufacturers of vehicles, okay, overseas. Okay, so today, nasa automation na sila. So actually, they can run up to 300 maybe cars, okay, composing of 3,000 or 30,000 more parts, okay, in their assembly line ng mabilisan lang. Pero that automation is still not enough, okay, para makasabay sa trend when it comes in automobile industry. So they committed to produce 20 electrical powered or electric powered vehicle. But when it comes in electric powered vehicle, okay, madami diyang mga design, okay, na kailangan nilang i-overcome. Ano yung mga yon? The lightweighting, okay, the mileage, affordability. So that's why they decided to use the power of Autodesk Design and Manufacturing collections using the generative design for them to produce an output. So let's say we have a sample here. This is a simple seatbelt bracket, okay, from their existing design on their cars, and using the generative design of Fusion 360 and Autodesk Design and Manufacturing collection, okay, they produce it, okay, using the generative design. And once again, with the power of generative design, they can produce, okay, different design options to choose from. And this is the design output na nagustuhan nila based on the factors. Okay, so kung makikita niya dito, from the multiple parts that we have, maybe 8 to 10 parts ito, we converted it into single part. Okay, tulad na banggit ko kanina, you're not just improving the existing part that you have, but also the whole production cycle of the company. Kasi kung makikita niyo dito, for them to be able to produce, okay, this existing design, kailangan dumaan yan ng madaming assembly line. But using our generative design, so mami-minimize ang assembly line natin. Tama, di ba? So that is the advantage of this one. Okay? So, number one. So, this is the output. Okay? So, I'll just show you the way on how can we apply the generative design of Fusion 360. Okay, this is just a demo. And before tayo mag-start, okay, I would like to greet all of you a good afternoon. And I hope you are doing good and in good health. Take care always because COVID-19, laging nandyan yan. Okay? So, once again, this is Mark J. Henosa. You can call me MJ para sa mga bagong dating. Okay? Thank you so much for attending this afternoon's webinar regarding generative design. You can call me MJ, a applications engineer here at Wordtext Systems Incorporated. Okay, presenting to you the workflow that we have inside the design and manufacturing collections of Autodesk, okay, which is included yung Fusion 360 and the power of generative design. If you're going to take a look at this, we have here the manufacturing line, okay, makikita natin, this one. Okay, so this is the manufacturing line and this is a sample robot that we have. Okay, so yung gusto nating i-innovate dito or i-improve is yung handle ng robot natin. So we're going to take a look at this. Ito yung arm niya. Ayan. Yung part na yan, we are going to change it, okay, and provide more innovative design and more lightweight design when it comes on this using the generative design. Okay, what I am going to show you is the workflow or link, seamless workflow between Autodesk Inventor Professional and Fusion 360. Okay, you can link the file from your Fusion 360 model. Okay, as you can see here, I have here the Autodesk Fusion 360. Okay, and you can also provide it, okay, and use this file inside your inventor. Okay, so what we have here, if I'm going to extract this part, okay, I have this one. So makikita nyo yan. This is the part extracted from our assembly file here. Okay, so I have here the arm of our robot. So what we are going to do is to produce additional or new part, okay, mula dito sa part na yan. Okay, i-innovate ngayon natin siya. So how can we able to do that? So what we are going to do is to provide the different model here. Okay, if you're going to take a look at this. Okay, so dito na ako sa inventor nag-create ng magiging obstacle geometry ko. Okay, tulad na nabanggit ko kanina, yung mga kulay pula na yan, this is my obstacle geometry from inventor. Okay, and also, sinet ko na rin yung magiging preserved geometry ko. Okay, so that is the output of this. We have the obstacle and the preserved geometry. So if you are going to use those geometries inside your Fusion 360, okay, so what we have here is the Fusion 360. So I've linked the file by creating a new project and a folder here. So we have here the model exported from Inventor to Fusion 360. And then right after this, if you are going to take a look at our browser here, okay, kung makikita nyo, this is the preserved geometry. This is the obstacle geometry. So if I'm going to hide it, okay, that is our obstacle geometry, and the green model are those set up as our preserved geometry. And also, makikita natin dito, we have also the load constraints. Okay, so ayan sila. Those are the different loads that we have by setting the design conditions for our model. Okay, so that is the output. For the objective, after assigning the obstacle geometry using this button, after assigning the preserved geometry using this button, okay, you can set also what? The objectives that we have. So makikita nyo rin siya dito sa design criteria. Okay? So if you're going to take a look at this, what is our objective dun sa new part na gagawin natin? Is to minimize the mass. Tama, di ba? For the safety factor, you can set it to 3.5 if you want, and then simply click on OK, and that is we have now. Okay? Then after that, we need to set under the design criteria, tulad ng binanggit ko kanina, using the generative design here, we have our way to set the manufacturability ng design output na pwedeng gawin. So if you're going to take a look at our screen here, okay, we have here the number of production volume. Okay, you can also set that. If you want to use additive manufacturing, this is something to do with the 3D printing. Okay, if you want that. You can set the milling if you want. You can set 2-axis cutting. You can set die casting also. Okay, but now we're going to set this unrestricted for the output. Okay, so just simply click on OK by setting those one. And also, the good thing about the generative design is that you can provide multiple material you want or you need to include sa single study. Unlike the topology optimization we have before, single material lang yung pwede natin i-set up. Okay, this one, pwede kang mag-set up. Okay, if you want gold, okay, you can set different materials into single generative design study. So after setting those one, okay, you have the guide from the Fusion 360. If you're going to take a look at this, you can set the pre-check kung possible ba yung mga conditions na sinet up natin. So makikita niyo dito, the material gold is not supported by cost estimation. So if ever you want to move it again, so para makita niyo lang kung paano nag-react, okay, kung paano nag-set ng decision yung generative design natin. I'm going to delete that gold. Okay, and if you're going to use again the pre-check, may check na siya ng green. Sabihin, good to go tayo. And before tayo mag-set ng generate for our generative design, if you're going to take a look at this previewer, okay, let's just wait for it. Okay, kung makikita niyo dito, okay, kung paano ngayon nagbe-behave yung design output natin using the preview. Okay, kung paano niya kinoconnect lahat ng preserved geometry we have and kung paano niya iniilagan yung alin, yung mga obstacle geometry. Okay, so that's it for this one. Okay, so once again, while waiting for the output here, if you have questions, we have our chat box there, and I hope you are enjoying our this afternoon's webinar. Okay, so good afternoon to all of you. Okay, once again, we are Wordtext Systems Incorporated, and you can, and also known as WSI. Okay. And this is our topic for today. This is the generative design workflow. And yan, balikan natin ngayon yung ating previewer. Kung makikita nyo, ayan siya, para siyang clay-like model. Okay? Nagpapalit-palit siya, nagbabago based on the conditions na binigay natin. Okay? Unti-unti niyang iniilagan lahat ng obstacle geometry based dun sa geometry na binigay natin from inventor, and ikinoconnect niya lahat ng preserved geometry on our design. And once again, this is just what? A previewer. So once you already set for the conditions and okay ka na for the all conditions that you have, you can now run or generate what we have generative design. If you're going to generate this one, this requires a cloud credits. Okay? So, cloud credits yung kailangan yan. So, cloud credits, every generation or setting, the generative design study, okay, nag-require yan ng cloud credits. Okay? Actually, included siya ng 25 cloud credits per generate ng study. Okay? So, that's it for this one. Okay, and the output that we have, kasi ito pwedeng mag-run based on the specs ng PC and based on the speed of your internet. Maybe more or less, pwedeng mag-run yan ng 3 to 5 o 3 to 3.5 hours. Okay, more or less. So, ang tagal, di ba? So, the output that we have here, so this is the output provided from the generative design. Just open it and all we have to do is to wait for the output here. Okay, fortunately, we are now not responding here and antayin lang natin ng saglit. So maybe I'm going to Alt-Tab. And then going on my inventor, I have here the sample output. So from the output of Fusion 360, okay, you can now use the output from the Fusion 360 going to inventor for us to innovate and improve the part of our assembly here. So, pwede siyang mag-work hand in hand. And you don't have to worry about those softwares because if you're going to subscribe on our DNM or Design and Manufacturing collection, you can utilize the softwares for you to have the seamless workflow when it comes in manufacturing. So, this is the output that we have na napili natin. Okay? So, actually, madaming design options ang binibigay yung generative design. So, this is the output that we have. Okay, and going back on our inventor, okay, in-export natin yan from inventor. So that's it. Ito na yung output niya. So normally, so what I did is what? Okay, kinat ko yan sa gitna because kung ano yung meron tayo dito, symmetrical lang siya sa kabila. So we have this one. Ayan. So we have sample model here. So ito siya. Hinat ko siya and convert ko into geometry. If ever we are fixed on that design, okay, so paano natin malalaman na this design is the right design we need to use for that part? Okay, so dito ngayon papasok yung alin on our design phase for us to conduct what we call the finite element analysis to the power of inventor Nastran, which is also included on what? On our design and manufacturing collection. So, ganun kaganda yung collection natin, okay, for you to have a seamless workflow when it comes in manufacturing design. Okay, so lahat ng softwares included on that are very useful. And the Inventor Nastran is the advanced simulation software of our Autodesk Design and Manufacturing collection. And that Inventor Nastran is CAD embedded. Ibig sabihin, if you're going to take a look at this one, hindi mo kailangan i-open ng separate software Inventor Nastran because naka-embed na siya right directly on our Inventor Professional software. This is the Inventor Nastran. Okay, so all I want to do is to activate this one. Okay, so just wait for it. Okay, so ano ba yung purpose natin dito? So for us to see yung magiging simulation and analysis when it comes in deformation ng model natin. Okay, kaya ba niyang i-withstand yung mga binigay natin na loads, okay, sa mga part na yan. Okay, and the fixed constraint that we set. Okay, yung mga loads na babangga sa part natin na magiging cause ng deformation ng model. So what we have here is our result. So all I have to do is to load it, okay, from our Inventor Nastran. Okay, so this is the result that we have. And if you're going to take a look at this, deformed, ito yung check natin. So edit ko lang. Okay, the deformation. So another dialog box will appear on our screen. And if you're going to take a look at this, so we're going to set the display here. Makita natin yung display niya. Okay. So, wait lang natin siya mag-load. Medyo mabigat yung ating file. Process niya. Okay, that's it. So, if you're going to take a look at this, we have here the color coding as default. Kapag blue, okay, yan yung less yung force or stress na nare-receive ng part natin. Yung red part na yan, yan yung mas mataas yung stress na nare-receive. So this is the simulations that we have when it comes in Inventor Nastran. For us to see yung possible outcome ng design natin before pa natin siya i-fabricate in real world. So the advantage of using the upfront simulation, okay, ibig sabihin nun, sa early design phase tayo, nagke-create ng simulation, malilesen natin yung design changes dun sa middle part and latter part ng design cycle natin. Kasi tulad na banggit ko kanina, mas early yung design changes natin, mas mababa yung cost na pwedeng spend. Okay, so imagine niyo dyan, more of the or majority of the companies nowadays are creating changes or design changes kapag kapag hawak nila yung actual prototype. Okay, ang masakit doon kapag yun kailangan ng design change, you need to go back at step 1. Tama, di ba? So, another gastos na naman. You need to design it. You need to create the drafting engineering. You need to create the fabrication, production, and then prototype again. If ever may kailangan baguhin, back to step 1 ulit. So, this is the power of using Autodesk Inventor Nastran. Na-foresee agad natin yung possible output ng design na binigay natin. Okay? So now, compute agad natin yan. You can use the stress, the type of stress. We have the bond mimesis stress. This is good for the deformation. So makikita nyo yung output na gusto nyo ipakita. Okay, for this one. Okay. So once na okay na tayo for this, for the output using the Autodesk Inventor Nastran, just to simulate things. Okay. So all you have to do is to close it, finish Inventor Nastran. Okay, and then if you're going back on our inventor file here, okay, so that's it. Finish inventor Nastran. So going back on this, okay, i-embed na natin yung newly innovated part that we have using the generative design. And this is the seamless manufacturing workflow between Inventor Professional 2021, Fusion 360, and also the Inventor, Nastran, and those softwares are all included into a single subscription of design and manufacturing collections of Autodesk. Okay, so that is our output for our demonstration of this. Okay, and that's good demonstration when it comes in generative design. Okay, once again, if you have questions, okay, you have our chat box here. I am here with Miss Lalaine Bidal, our product manager of Autodesk Design and Manufacturing. Okay, So, anytime, pwede niyang sagutin or pwede namin sagutin yung mga questions that you have for us. Okay? And if ever you are affiliated in one of the manufacturing companies or any industry we have here today in the Philippines, okay, you can invite us for us to provide a special schedule of demo. Okay? Okay, para if ever makita namin yung existing workflow that you have on your company and we can provide, okay, the solutions from the Autodesk softwares we have. Okay, so that's it. And here's some of the customer success stories. Okay, this is the die and mold. Okay, design we have. So itong design na yan, okay, this is the, okay, ayan siya. Okay. So, minold yan using, pero yung dinesign yan using the Autodesk Fusion 360 Generative Design. Ayan. So, kung huhulaan nyo kung anong vehicle manufacturer yan, okay, this is Volkswagen. Okay? Ayan. So, nire-invent nila, okay, yung design nila using the generative design. Tingnan nyo na yung design niya. Very futuristic. And with the power of generative design of Fusion 360, they can provide design options from the single idea. They can set simulation, okay? They can validate the design if that is feasible, okay, for the output that we have. Okay? Yan, isa sa mga customer success, okay, stories of Fusion 360 using the generative design. Okay? This is from the Volkswagen Group. Okay, so kita nyo naman, old model, naging futuristic yung design nila. Okay, ayan siya. Okay, so yan, minood nila yan. Aluminum casting. Okay, so creating the prototype and then this is the installation of the actual Volkswagen vehicle. Okay, di ba? Galing. Another one, when it comes in design industry of furniture, so we've used the Autodesk Fusion 360 Generative Design, okay, for us to provide design options when it comes in furniture design. Okay, so this is one. Can you find a solution to support my body with a minimum material and energy? And that's what generative design can do. Okay, ayan. Ito siya. Ayun, di ba? And actually, this is the first, okay, furniture produced by generative design. We have. Hello, Sir Linus Zong. Okay, good afternoon. Thank you for attending our webinar for this afternoon about the generative design. Ay. Okay. Okay, good afternoon,
Hey,
Miss.
hi, MJ. Afternoon.
Well, thank you for attending
Hey,
this afternoon's webinar.
no worries, no worries. Hey, thanks for this great presentation. But I also want to share with everyone here in the audience that we are running a promotion, especially for customers on SolidWorks who is looking at considering some cost savings with our PDMC solution that MJ presented. So once again, if any of the PDMA members here who are using SolidWorks wants to enjoy some cost savings with our Autodesk solutions, please feel free to reach out to WSI and let us know if you require a one-on-one presentation with your team. All right. Yep. Thanks, MJ.
So much, Mr. Sir Linus Zong. Okay.
Thank you.
once again, guys, that is Mr. Linus Zong, one of our technical sales, okay, from Autodesk. Okay, thank you so much for your inputs. And so, guys, I hope you enjoy our presentation about the generative design. So I think that's all about this afternoon generative design discussion. And at Autodesk, we give you the power to make everything. What will you gonna do? Make anything, because we are here to support you, our customers, design and make more sustainable products and processes. Thank you. And by the way, this is Mark J. Henosa. You can call me MJ. Applications engineer specializing in Autodesk product design and manufacturing softwares under Wordtext Systems Incorporated, and we are WSI. Once again, guys, if you want to know more, you can contact us at 092302055154, and you can invite us and send your invitation to my email, markj.henosa@wsiphil.com.ph, so that we can provide demonstration, a special schedule for your company, so we can provide the Autodesk solutions for your manufacturing workflow. And again, guys, we have our promo for today's to be discussed by Ms. Lalaine Vidal, our product manager of design and manufacturing collections.
Hello guys, good afternoon. I think there are from you, some people here from Philippine Dye and Mold Association and MIA. So thank you for attending our Autodesk Fusion 360 webinar. Right now you can see in our screen that we are going to have a 40% discount for Fusion 360. So even for those who are not a member of PDMA and MIAP, this will be available. You just have to message us. I think you already got the email address of MJ Henosa, and I'm just going to chat my email address here also so that you can reach out on me. So aside from that, we can give free demo through online and training for Fusion 360. Again, thank you for Linus for attending our Autodesk webinar for today. You can also contact him if you need assistance with regards to the price and demo also. And thank you again also for Mark J for doing a good presentation. So that's it for now. I hope we can hear from you guys, and we look forward to have a good demo with your company. Thank you and goodbye.
Hi, good afternoon once again. Just to add up, okay. So once again, thank you so much. This is MJ once again. Okay, and we would like to invite all of you on our Facebook page. I would like to invite you to like our page here, Autodesk Philippines-WSI, for you to get an updates on our different free webinars. Okay, we have here from the AESC collections, and what we have, okay, for the DNM or design and manufacturing. Okay, actually malapit na siya. This coming Friday, September 25. Make parts run faster with automated CAM. Okay, this Friday at 1:30 p.m. I hope to see you guys here. We're going to discuss about the computer-aided manufacturing capabilities of Autodesk design and manufacturing softwares. And also this one, Teacher Cam Basics. All you have to do is to like our page for you to have an updates, okay, regarding our free webinars. Okay, para meron kayong malaking idea about the capabilities of Autodesk design and manufacturing softwares. And once again, guys, this is Mark J. Henosa. You can call me MJ, applications engineer specializing in Autodesk product design and manufacturing softwares. Thank you so much, guys. See you again on Friday. God bless. Take care always. Bye, guys.